शुभ मध्याह्नः नमः सर्वेभ्यः मध्याह्नकक्ष्यायां स्वागतम्. We were reading the Kavyakatha portion. Bhagini had read a small portion. I'll just quickly reread that and then I'll invite someone to continue the reading as I try to provide the translations and some grammar clues here and there. दिलीपः सूर्यवंशस्य नृपः आसीत्. तस्य सुतः रघुः इति आसीत्. रघुराजः प्रसिद्धः आसीत्. अतः अयं वंशः रघुवंशः इति ख्यातः अभवत् अथवा आसीत्. रघुवंशे वैवस्वतमनुः प्रथमः पुरुषः आसीत्. दिलीपः प्रजावत्सलः आसीत्. सुदक्षिणा तस्य पत्नी आसीत्. दिलीपः बहुकालं पुत्ररहितः आसीत्. अतः सः चिन्ताक्रान्तः अभवत्. वसिष्ठः दिलीपस्य आचार्यः. दिलीपः वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं सङ्कल्पितवान्. अतः सः सचिवेषु इति इदानीम् अग्रे सरामः. मोहन राम वर्य, भवान् पठितुं भवद्भिः पठितुं शक्यते वा? मोहन राम वर्य,
अस्तु।
कृपया इतः आरभ्य पठतु, अहम् अग्रे चालयिष्यामि.
अतः स सचिवेषु राज्यभारं निक्षिप्तवान्.
अतः therefore सः दिलीपः सचिवेषु amidst the ministers or upon the ministers, it's a better word, upon the ministers, Rajyabharam, the weight of the ruling of the nation, Nikshiptavan, he put on them. That means he handed over the daily affairs of the nation to them as he proceeded, obviously, to Vasishtashrama, as we will read next. Continue, sir.
सुदक्षिणा सहितः वसिष्ठाश्रमं गतवान्.
Sudakshina sahitah, with Sudakshina. Okay, this actually is a samastapada. Wherever you see multiple pratipadikas like Sudakshina and then Sahita, etc., you will quickly know that, for example, Vasishta, Ashrama, all these are samastapadas. And they cannot be simply separated. You cannot write it as Sudakshina space Sahitaha. No. Because when we do the breakup, there is a vigraha vakya. There is a new phrase emerging from this samasapada. For example, in this case, I don't want to burden you with too much at this time, but it is Sudakshinaya Sahitaha. Okay, so with Sudakshina, like that sense. Okay. Then Vasishtasya Ashramam is the breakup here. Of the Vasishta, the Ashrama. So this way there is a different types of breakups phrase that is coming up, Vigraha Vakya coming up, based on how we judge the samasa, whether it is a Tatpurusha samasa, whether it is a Avyayi Bhava samasa, whether it is a Karmadharya, etc. Various types are there, Bahuvrihi, like this. Okay. So over time we will learn that, and once you learn that, you will enjoy Sanskritam even more. How brilliant that samasa work is, and how it compacts the language even better and simplifies also. Sometimes instead of speaking long phrases for something that is very obvious, you can just compact them. Okay, and once you gain the insight into how to construct them, you will get insight into how to deconstruct them also fairly accurately based on the context requirement. So he went to Vasishtashrama. Continue, Varya.
Yeah. तत्र नृपः वसिष्ठाय स्वचिन्तां निवेदितवान्.
So over there, Tatra, the king Nrupaha, Vasishtaya, for the sake of Vasishta, Swachintam, his own worry, Niveditavan, he conveyed. Okay, continue.
कुतः मम सन्ततिः नास्ति इति प्रश्नं कृतवान्.
Kritavan, very good. So here, usually when we read, Mahodaya is reading very well, some kaku could help, because now we know it's a question, no? Kutaha mama santatihi nasti iti Prashnam Kritavan. This is a little drama. It will be making it very easy to understand. That's all. Okay, I'm not asking you to do all that, but that's just the style. Kutaha, how come, from where, that sense. Okay, Mama Santatihi Nasti. For what reason there is no progeny of mine? So the question he made, that means he asked such a question of Vasishta, because he would have Divya Drishti to find out and solve the issue. Continue, sir. This paragraph also.
वसिष्ठः कारणम् अचिन्तयत् आचार्यः
1 minute. Pause after every sentence. So, Atintayat must be inaccurate. Achintayan must be the form, as far as I recall. Okay. So, anyway, hold that. What they mean here is Vasishta, the reason he thought. Okay, that's what. Oh, no, this is lung. Achintayat, correct. Achintayan at is a lung, it's a kriya pada. So, he thought about the reason. Continue, sir.
आचार्यः अकथयत् नृप त्वं कदाचित् स्वर्गं गतवान्.
Let us pause there. So here now there is a hyphen to indicate what he. So they will. This will end. Acharya akatayat iti. See, from akatayat up to iti is actually an outer sentence embedding the quote of the inner sentence. Normally, we don't even need all this quote and all that. Okay, it is contextually understood with these kind of phrases, iti, etc., that there is a quote. For example, see, iti is there. So question mark is not needed because kutaha is a prashnarthaka shabda. So by context, we don't need all that modern implements. But because it is available, we use them. We love what is useful and good and convenient. So there is, we have adopted that into Devanagari Lipi also and added them in. Okay? So in the type text, we have those characters available, so we can use them without switching the keyboard. We can include them. So He Nripa. So this is Sambodhana. So Acharya told. Akatayat means not that he told some katha. He just told. Okay, kathanam simply means to state something. Okay, kim akatayat? So starts off, He Nripa, Hey King, Tvam kadachit swargam gatavan. You some time ago is in gatavan implies ago. Swargam gatavan. You had gone to the Swarga Loka. Continue, sir.
Sir, the kadachit, is it sometime or is it perhaps?
Kadachit is temporal, time.
Okay. Tatra tvam devendram sevitavan.
Over there, you, the king Devendra, king of Swarga Devendra, you did the seva. That means you respected and all that and helped him with something. Obviously, you would have gone to help with some warring with the Rakshasas and all that. Continues.
Tataha tvam pratyagatavan.
After that, from there, okay, afterwards. So tataha can be temporal or locational. You can take both sense here. After the assistance rendered, from over there, both can be read there. You returned. Prati agatavan. Prati upasarga with agatavan. Okay, gam dhatu. See how much growth is there in here. Okay, let's just analyze one word here. Gam dhatu. Okay, and then ktavatu rupa gatavan from ktavatu pullinga form associated with dilipa. Then a upasarga. That means he didn't go, he came. A gatavan. Okay, then prati further added to mean towards back your home. Okay, agatavan somewhere else. No, pratyagatavan means returned home. So there is a sense of return in the pratyagamanam. Okay, this is a brilliant way in which the simple dhatu gam has been extended with upasargas and kridantas and all that to grow into something very, very explicitly large. Otherwise, that can be told. Of course, English has a compact word, returned. So there is each language has some beauty somewhere where they do have something. Yeah, continue.
Tada marga madhye kamadhenuh asit.
Tada, oh, that time. See, kada, tada, they are related. At that time, okay? Marga madhye, in the middle of the road, or along the road. You should not read it as middle of the road. Technically, along the road, on your way. That sense. Kamadhenu, the great cow Kamadhenu, Asit. It was there, over there somewhere. Continue.
Sa kalpavrikshasya chayayam asit.
She was there in the shadow of Kalpavriksha. She herself is a kind of a Kalpavriksha because she gives Kamadhud. See, Kamadhenu is constructed another beautiful. Kamitam dogdhi iti Kamadhenu. The one who milks what is desired, she is Kamadhenu. She is, her name is constructed from that. Anyway, Kalpavriksha is also similar. Okay, it is like a time tree type of thing, and so it is also capable of granting. Anyway, sa kalpavrikshasya chayayam asit. She was there standing over in the shadow of a big holy tree.
Tvam kamadhenum na drishtavan.
You did not see Kamadhenu.
Nacha namaskritavan.
And you did not do the namana seva. That means you did not greet her, right?
Kamadhenuhu kupita abhavat.
She became angry. See, it is expected that you are aware of your whereabouts. You cannot be lost in your own thing. Okay, there are some niceties to be observed in the society. So he failed to observe that nicety. Okay, so she became angry. Kupita abhavat.
Shapam dattavati.
So she gave a curse.
Ataha tava santatihi nasti.
Therefore, ataha, therefore, tataha, from there. Okay, ataha, all avyayas. Okay, tava santatihi nasti. Your progeny is not there. That means you do not have a son.
Tasyaha santatim pujaya.
You please offer your respectful prayers to her santati. Her santati will be, of course, a daughter. Okay, so to her daughter you offer your prayers.
Tada tava santanaha bhavishyati iti.
Then upon that act, then your progeny will occur, will happen. So he akatayat. So not only he found out what was the reason, he knew what was the solution, etc. Okay. So thank you very much, Mohan Ram Varya. You were good.
Namaste.
Neeta Warrior, you can participate.
Astu Mahodaya.
Please go through this till the end. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Dileepaha prishtavan shapavakyam maya na shrutam kutaha iti.
So Dileepaha prishtavan blah 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 iti. Okay. So Dileepa asked. So Dileepa asked. So Shapavakyam maya na shrutam. The curse was not heard by me. Shapavakyam means the sentence of curse, but you can again just write it down as curse in English. So the curse was not heard by me. Why? Okay. See here, this is karmani prayoga because Shapavakyam is napumsaka. Shrutam in the kta is put as napumsaka to go with Shapavakyam, and na to negate the shravana, and then maya in the tritiya vibhakti to put the actual participant in the activity, potential participant in the activity of Shravana as Maya. That means Dileepa is selling by me. Okay. So by me, the Shapavakya was not heard. So you can see the Karmani sense there, or the passive voice sense. Kutaha, how come? Iti. So.
Acharya akathayat Ganga pravaha asit ataha tat na shrutam iti.
So he replied, okay, there was a huge sound due to Ganga Pravaha. The sound is not mentioned here, but it's obvious in context. So there was a huge flow of Ganga river. Therefore, that means that Shapavakya was not heard. Tat is now Shapavakyam. Na shrutam, not heard by you, by you. So Tvaya could have been added, but was not required. Okay. Continue.
नृपः अपृच्छत् इदानीं किं करोमि इति.
See, this guys, you have to notice what kind of things are coming. See, I also got stumped because till then I was seeing only Kridantas, Nikshiptavan, Niveditavan, Gatavan. So then my mind is tuned, oh, another Vanvati will come. No, Achintayat came. So I thought, oh, so what happened here? I got confused. So that shouldn't happen. Achintayat is a lang Kriyapada Rupa. So Vasishtaha Karanam Chintitavan could be the Kridanta technique. Vasishtaha Karanam Achintayat is the Kriyapada technique. So Vasishtaha Karanam Chintitavan Asit, like that you can put. Okay. So we don't need the Asit, of course, because it's inferable, but Achintayat will remove any secondary doubt about doing any imagination, because that is actual Kriyapada. Instead of putting Chintitavan Asit and all that complication, Achintayat is elegant. So if you know to decline it in the correct Lakara to put the time, etc., that is the best Samskritam, because native Samskritam is that. Okay, using this Kridanta and walking around it is a temporary solution at a beginner level. So you will see a lot of that coming in these small stories. But here and there, Samskrita Bharati has nicely coded the lang lakaras. See, Achintayat, Visa, then Visa, of course, Asit is also a lang, but that we know very well. So here, Akatayat, we saw it a couple of times, Akatayat, Apruchat, Avadat, all these are lang lakara. So he asked, he or she, it could be. In this case, it's always he, because Dileepa and Acharya. Okay, that's all. So Ganga, this also we finished, right? Ataha Nashrutam, that also we finished. Next you have to read this, Bhagini.
वसिष्ठः अवदत् आश्रमे नन्दिनी अस्ति.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I forgot to translate this then. So Nrupa, the king, asked back again. Okay, asked back again and all. I am adding simply here. It says he asked, "Idanim kim karami?" So what shall I do now? Like this, I am adding a little bit more kaku. I am sure he didn't do all the drama. So he asked. Vasishtaha avadat. Vasishta replied again, "Ashrame Nandini asti." In this ashrama, my ashrama only, Nandini is there. That's what, she is the santati, like that. That's what he's going to say. Continue.
सा कामधेनुः पुत्री.
So she is the daughter of Kamadenu. See, Kamadenu, Kamadenoho. Okay. So Ukaranta Strilinga Shabda.
तां पूजय.
You please pray to her.
वन्यजीवनम् आचर.
Please follow the austere life in the forest. Vanya Jivana has a lot of implication there. That means you follow the austerity of living in the forest. That means I'm not telling you to come with all your darbar and make camp here and then do all this. You have to live like an ascetic and do the puja, like that. Achara, this is all lot, I mean command type of thing. Prarthana, Agnya, that sense. Okay. Continue, Bhagini.
अनुग्रहः भविष्यति इति.
So you will get the grace. I mean, anugraha is like the grace or the grant. Okay. Bhavishyati will happen to you. So I mean, she will grace you with the removing the curse from you, so that your santati can happen. Continue, Bhagini, you finish it off.
नृपः अङ्गीकृतवान्.
Nrupaha, Angikara means to accept, right? Angikritavan. So Kridatu with a prefix, not an Upasarga type prefix, but a kind of a it's a type of samasta, you can say, with Kriya. Rarely it occurs, but anyway. So Kritavan, actually, because it is a Kridanta, it is a normal attachment to the noun only. So Angikritavan. So he accepted. That means he decided, okay, yes, I will do what you tell. Continue.
सः पर्णशालायां वासम् अकरोत्.
So he lived in a hut of grass. So grass hut is Parnashala. Parnashalayam, Saptami Ekavachana. So Vasam Akarot. He made his life or lived in the grass hut.
Sudakshina api tatraiva sthita.
Not alone, of course, Sudakshina was also there. It was a joint thing. Both of them had to do it, though that's not explicitly said. Actually, in the original I have read, actually he says with Sudakshina you do this. Okay, so Sudakshina api, even she, tatraiva sthita, she stood, I mean, she stayed over there only.
Nripaha Rajavaibhavam atyajat.
Oh, by the way, right from the beginning, we know he came along with Sudakshina. Even the picture we have here of them coming. So, Nrupaha Rajavaibhavam atyajat. So, he gave up all his Rajavaibhava. In fact, he would have sent off his chariot and all the bhattas that came along with him and all that. That's also there in the original. Continue.
Kushanam shayane suptaha.
So, upon the bed of grass, Kusha. Kusha is a special type of grass, but anyway, it can also be generically called grass. So, of the grass upon the bed, he became a man who slept. Suptaha abhavat. Continue.
Prata kale dhenum sudakshina sahitaha pujitavan.
So, in the morning, the cow as a karma, as a target, with the Sudakshina, he did the puja.
Nandini vanam agachat.
So after the morning, the usual process is, night they take refuge in the ashrama and all that. And after the morning, maybe some special meal is given to them with pushti. And then the rest of the grazing of the day, they are left to graze in the forest. So proper forest grazed cow, which is such a craze nowadays. So she went to the forest.
Hello.
Yes, Varya.
Nripaha tam
One small doubt.
1 minute, Neeta Varya. What is it, Sharad Varya?
To have it atyajat.
See, all these are lung forms. Apruchat, avadat, akathayat, atyajat. Okay. Tyaga, tyaj dhatu. Atyajat means he gave up, he left. So that means he gave up all his Raja Vaibhava.
But if only he had used tyajat, then
No.
Hello?
That lakara in that lung, it is called lung lakara. You will learn soon. In lung lakara, the tyajadatu, in addition to the at ending, gets a prefix a.
okay, sir. Okay.
It's called at prefix in the grammarian term. So we add a at prefix and then put the ting pratyaya. So the ting pratyaya in the lung form. So atyajat is the final form of the tyajadatu in the lung lakara, pratama purusha ekavachana.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Is
Thank you.
part, it is not any prefix, it is part of the final thing form. Yeah.
Okay.
So Nandini Vanam Agachat we had read. Here Bhagini.
Yeah. Nripaha tam anugatavan.
So he followed. See the gam dhatu again, gatavan only, but anugatavan. Earlier we had seen another type of angi kritavan like that, no? Similar style. So anu, in fact, anu is a proper upasarga added here. The angi is a kind of a non-classical upasarga because it's not part of the 21 or 22 upasargas that are listed, but it is having that position there. Here anu is clearly, anu is afterwards. Okay, that sense is there in that upasarga. So gatavan, anugatavan, that means he followed. The kriya changes to following. Tam, that is strilinga karmapada for sa. Sa tetaha, tam tetaha. So tam anugatavan. So dhenum anugatavan.
Jagarukaha dhenum ekvimshati dinani sevitavan.
Now Bhagini is bringing her Hindi prapancha in here. Ekavimshati na. Ekavimshati dinani.
Ekavimshati dinani.
There is no automatic killing of any swara in Sanskrit. Okay? Jagarukaha. No, 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 no. Don't say sir and all that. Just because the whole purpose of involving you guys is to, point out these faults. That's all. Jagarukaha. So there is actually one more small word that has not been put. Jagarukaha. Sun. Sun is a Shatranta form of as dhatu. Okay. So that form is a being careful. That being is the sun. Okay, Jagarukaha sun, but not required to be quoted because it's so easy to put Jagarukaha as a qualifier to. So Jagarukaha Dilipaha, the careful Dilipa. Actually, the meaning is while being careful or in a caring manner. That sense is coming from this word now. Dhenum, the Nandinim, Ekavimshati Dinani, 21 days. Sevitavan, he did the seva. So he did this whole exercise, sleeping in the Parnashala, etc., all that morning puja, then following her and giving her rakshana in the forest. I mean, Anugatavan gives the sense that he went to give rakshana to her for those days. Okay, so that's it. You may ask, till now she was managing fine without rakshana. Well, she is there to help him. He is not there to help her. You know that. Okay. So let us take the joy from it and question all the logic here. Okay. Well done, Bhagini. Thanks, Neeta
Thank you.
Warriorji. Well read.
Sir, one
Thank you.
question.
Please ask.
The word Shrutam, can you please explain a little more, as in which vibhakti, lakar, what it is?
One thing I request you at this stage, don't try to kind of everything microanalyze, though I have probably the culprit here having led you in that direction. So I should also take it when you give. But this is Shruyate. The dhatus latlakara form is Shruyate. Okay. I don't know the actual explanation. Maybe Shru, Shravane, something like that will be the dhatu pata. Okay. The Shru
Shrunoti?
Shrunuta, I thought.
Shrunoti, Shrunutaha, Shrunvanti, that is also there. Shruyate, that is also there. I don't know, it's a niche form or something like that. Anyway, okay, so Shrutam is from that dhatu. Okay, and it is a kta. Tat na shrutam. So tat, that means vakyam na shrutam. So this is in Napumsaka Tanta. Just to completely tell you, because I happen to know this, I don't know many other places, but here it is Ktanta of a Shru Dhatu, or whatever is the original form of that Dhatu, in the Karmani Bhuta Kridanta form, pointing to the Shapa Vakyam, which is referred to with the Tat here. Okay?
And
I'm happy you picked up
Purush?
something that I can answer.
And always used in Uttam Purush?
Okay, I think now we will stop. If you didn't understand something, ask me. Don't ask me what is the grammar of each word. Any other question unrelated
Sir,
to
I've got a doubt.
extensive grammar of each word? Yeah.
Sir, when we are using this form of lang lakar, we can also use it as kridanta form. So which is more preferable? Like
Whatever is coming quickly to you. For example, Dilipaha Prishtavan, Dilipaha Aprichat. See, both are there here. See, Dilipaha Prishtavan is there. Nripaha instead of Dilipaha. Aprichat is also there. So this is the lang form, that is the Kridanta form. Samskrita Bharati is trying to give you mix match of both so that you start climbing. But I would advise you, eventually as you go to Prauda Avastha, try to stick to the lang forms. If you can learn the lang forms and stick to them, at least for the Prathama Purusha Ekavachana, it should not be too difficult. Okay. And also for Uttama Purusha, Aprucham, like that, it's also easy. But when it is going to become difficult because it is some other Dvivachana and Madhyama Purusha somewhere, then okay, Kridanta is easier. Go back to that. Yeah.
Sir,
Sir, Sthita will be Atishtat.
Stha dhatu, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because they've used Sthita here.
Sthita, Atishtat. Very good.
Sir,
See,
same
Sudakshina api tatraiva Atishtat is the lang form. Sthita is the Ktanta with the same dhatu, applying to the feminine Sudakshina.
Same question, same sentence I wanted the same ask doubt, Mahoday.
Same answer.
That Anugatavan Vagera. So in that way, Sudakshina api tatraiva Sitavati is not coming. Sitavati is not correct, sir.
You can use both. Good point. Okay, some places these ktantas, they are acting like kriya vishesh, nama visheshana instead of acting like a karmani style. Okay, so sudakshina stita is a visheshana visheshya bhava of the ktanta. But you are right. Sudakshina api tatraiva stitavati. Like that also can be told. You can use the ktavatu form. Right. Very good.
And
Good
one
question.
more, sir.
Can I?
Above paragraph, tatra nripaha vasishtaya swachintam niveditavan. Why it
All the way.
is fourth vibhakti coming there, vasishtaya? Is he
Oh,
giving
because
something?
nivedana, see the act of nivedana, okay, is forcing the chaturthi vibhakti there.
It is like giving, sir. Is it like giving?
It's a
something?
little bit of that dana kriya type of sense is there.
Acha. So that is the reason fourth vibhakti is coming.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You
Thank
can
sir.
actually, I don't know, sometimes, you know, if this kriya pada is not dvikarmaka, then you cannot use vasishtam swachintam niveditavan. I have to go check the grammar if this allows this dhatu, okay, vid jnane dhatu, okay. Somehow with the kridanta form, they have seemed to have taken the dana kriya sense and chaturthi. But don't get over affixated with that chaturthi vibhakti only strictly for dana and all that. It won't be so narrow. An entire vibhakti can't be sacrificed for just 2-3 dhatus of dana kriya. So you take it as 2 vasishta. But if it is a dvikarmaka, then it is okay to say vasishtam swachintam akathayat, something like that. Okay?
Okay.
Dvikarmaka, because to vasishta as the listener, swachinta as the object of what he wanted to convey, both being karma padas. So there is, later on you learn this dvikarmaka, karmaka, sakarmaka, all those business. Slowly you will get all that. Okay?
Thank you, Mohan.
So I think we are done. So now it's your turn. I won't read the English. We understood the story very well. So it's there. So we have to answer this. So I'm going to call a very nice name here. Somebody called just N. If he knows his name is just N. Single letter N. I don't think he even knows his name is single letter N. Okay, so we will leave it. So. Oh, okay, Narasimhan. All right, it's a different person. That JV Narasimhan, sir. I like your name, sir. So JV Narasimhan, sir, you have to answer me the first question. Surya Vamshaha Raghu Vamshaha iti kutaha prasiddhaha. You try to answer in Samskritam. If you can't, give me English and we'll work with you.
Yeah. Surya Vanshaha Surya Vanshe Raghuvanchaha Asit.
Raghuhu.
Raghuhu Asit.
Very good. Not Raghu Vamshaha Asit. See, Surya Vamshe Raghuhu Prasiddhaha Asit. Prasiddha also you have to add. So very good. Surya Vamshe Raghuhu Prasiddhaha Asit.
Surya Vanshe Raghuhu Asit.
Prasiddhaha Asit.
Prasiddhaha Asit. Surya Vanshe Raghuhu Prasiddhaha Asit.
Ataha. See, you have to replace now the second sentence. Ataha Surya Vamshaha Raghu Vamshaha iti prasiddha. Second sentence is very easy. Replace kutaha with ataha and put the rest, and then you are finished. Okay? Well done.
Ataha Raghu Vamshaha Prasiddhaha Asit.
Raghu Vamshaha iti Surya Vamshaha prasiddhaha asit. Okay?
Sir, I have one more doubt, sir. This kutaha is actually from where, no?
In places it takes the sense of from where. In places it takes the sense of why.
Why?
It is having a different contextual interpretation. Kimartham sense is coming from kutaha. Okay? Kimartham is another famous question word that we use. So that also can be added here, but they use kutaha because ataha is easy to answer. Okay? Thank you, Varya. So somebody is unmuted. Okay. Lakshmi Varya. Can you unmute?
Sir, namaste.
Dilipasya Acharyah kaha. You got a very simple question.
Vasishtah.
But you have to you cannot give answer like that. You will get only 0.2 marks. You have to give the full sentence. How do you say?
वसिष्ठः दिलीपस्य आचार्यः.
Very good, Lakshmi Varye. Vasishtah Dilipasya Acharyah is enough, but you can say Asit also if you want. Okay, so Dilipas, or you can give in another order, but it's okay. What you said is also perfect. Dilipasya Acharyah Vasishtah athva Vasishta Rushi. He just Vasishtah is enough. Asit can be added optional. Well done. Thanks, Lakshmi Varye. So I have a lot of unmuted microphone. Anusha is unmuted. Anusha, you want to participate?
Yes, I can.
Next question for you. Nrupaha Swarge Kam Sevitavan.
Nripaha Swarge Devendram Sevitavan.
Wow. Perfect. Perfect answer. Okay. Nrupaha Swarge Devendram Sevitavan. Well done. Thanks, Bhagini. Chandrakala, you want to say something?
Yes, I want.
Something happened. I don't know. Okay. Mohan Ram, Varya.
No, I wanted this.
Okay. Chandrakala. Mohan Ram, sir, wait, please. Chandrakala. Nandini Ka.
Nandini Kamadenoh Putri.
Very good. Nandini Kamadenoh Putri. Kamadenoh Santanam. Very good. Nandini Kamadenoh Putri. You can additionally say something, but not required. Sa Vasishta Ashrame Asit also. Okay. If of course Vasishta is a Chiranjeevi, then she is a Chiranjeevi for sure. So then Asti also we can say. We got to go search where this Vasishta Ashrama is in today's India. It may be lost. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 finished. So let us invite back in Mohan Ram Varya. I think I had called in. Mohan Ram Varya. There you are. Dilipah Kati Dinani Nandinim Sevitavan.
Dilipah Ekavimshati Dinani Nandinim Sevitavan.
Wow, my students are so many. I'm randomly picking them and they know the answer, and I don't have the slide open to the text. So beautiful. So Dilipah Ekavimshati Dinani, or you can Samasta Ekavimshati Dinani, like that. Nandinim Sevitavan. Very good. So you guys have all understood that. Now the next segment is very important. Through this level, next level, etc., you will be learning more and more about this Anvaya Krama. All the way into Shiksha also they will be continuing to teach, because the significant portion of Samskrita kritis are in verses. Okay, they are in verse form. The textual forms, some good number of natakas are what we call rupaka in Sanskritam. They are in Gadya form, and also there are some Gadya kavyas. There are some Gadya kavyas, but Gadya kavyas tend to be very, very high level. Okay, so significant portion like entire Ramayana, entire Mahabharata. Okay, they are all Gadya kavyas. So Padya kavyas. They are all Padya kavyas. So they are all full of verses. So it becomes extremely important for us to learn the technique of inferring the vakyas from the verse. The verse would have a certain arrangement of words to help the meter, and sometimes, somewhat difficult Parichaya padas would have been picked up by the Kavi because he's trying to fit the meter, etc. So it helps us to understand how to go about analyzing the a verse. Sometimes you have to take 1.5 verse together. Sometimes you have to take 2 to 3 verses together to make meaning, because the verses will be collectively having one Kriya Pada somewhere. This kind of thing you will learn, okay, in this section slowly over time. So I'll just read through what they have written here. Just calmly let us learn together. And what is Anvaya is putting things in order. Okay, Anvaya. Okay. Putting things in order. So the method of putting things in order. That's all. It's very direct engineering of the word. In prose, words are arranged in according with their meaning. That means there is a certain sentence order that they follow, right? But such an arrangement is not found in a poem. The reason for this is the meter matraka, matra. So you see the meter word comes from Sanskritam, which is in keeping with the words composed. Okay, therefore we must rearrange the words of a stanza while interpreting the meaning. This rearrangement of words, rearrangement we should say, this rearrangement of words is called Anvaya Krama. In understanding the complete sense of a poem, these 4 steps are followed. The 4 steps are very important. Remember this: Padavibhagaha, Anvayaha, Anvayarthaha, Tatparyam. Each has a different increasing sense of getting to the meaning. So Padavibhagaha, first problem is the Kavi would have done all types of sandhis there. Okay, usually they choose to do the sandhis. Okay, Kavis, they try to construct with the sandhis in place. They don't already break up, except where sometimes they will avoid some sandhis because unnecessarily they don't do very silly sandhis, they avoid. Okay, so we have to unravel the original words by doing sandhi vichedana. So Padavibhaga is also the karya of sandhi vichedana. That means doing the breakup of the sandhis. Then Anvaya. So what will be result of Padavibhaga? A list of words with kamas next to each other. Okay. Then Anvaya is actually the name Anvaya Krama comes from this. But sometimes remember, in order to come to the Anvaya Vakya, you should actually mentally have gone through the Anvayartha and Tatparya sense, then you will know the sentence order a little bit. So don't think that even in our brains, this is like in this order. No, this is the illustration to another of the whole, our analysis. So our analysis is sometimes parallel. We have to, of course, do Padavibhaga first. There is no escaping that. And after that, it's a little mixture, and then we do the Anvaya writing, then Anvayartha writing. Okay, so in Anvaya writing, all we do is using the same words used by the Kavi, and maybe 1 or 2 extra Kriya Padas that are missing, or some Avyaya that may be missing to add them. Okay, that much Adhyaharana we call it, that imagining of the missing, that we do, and then write the belt out the sentence or the sentences in the verse. Okay, or the verses, if you have to collectively analyze multiple verses. Okay, so construing words and rearranging the words in a sentence form. I don't know what they mean here by construing. Okay, leave. Anvayartha. So here, next what we have to do, once the sentence order in Sanskrit order, see, remember this is Sanskrit order is available. The same thing you have to rewrite here, but now with putting sometimes we use equal to is also not needed in the many places. They just write it next to that. So for each word you have to write a simple version of that word. Okay, not always you will find. So if you don't find for something, you can just write the word without writing the paryaya and continue, because if gachati is there is no need to complicate our lives and try to find some paryaya for as simple as gachati. Okay, so that you don't need to cha and all, you don't have to find some paryaya because there isn't one. Cha, sometimes you can write api also, but api is not exactly like cha, so you cannot always write, but for most cases some tough ones you can write. For example, some lung form is there, then you can write the kridanta form and things like that you can do. Okay, anvayartha, so meaning arrived at thereby. So here because meaning arrived thereby is given, one technique is to write the Anvaya words and then put equal to and show the parallel, or another is try to rewrite that Anvaya Vakya in Sarala Samskrita as another sentence. That's also okay. Okay, but generally we try to do whatever words are there, we put equal to and put the meaning next to it. Okay. Next is the Tatparya. And what is difference between Anvayartha and Tatparya? We always learned. See, this word is good, substance. Sometimes the verse is only telling 1 or 2 things, but there is a big story context to that verse, right? So sometimes in order to explain the meaning, you have to go behind and put the context in place. So this happens in Ashokavana. This is when Hanuman would have flown over to Lanka in search of Sita. That much you may add as additional contextual information, and then you say, then he saw Sita and blah, blah, blah. And then you can say one more sentence in the end to say what happens next a little bit, to give some context to the whole verse. Okay, if you know, of course. Okay, Otherwise, you try it if you're totally unaware, it's a verse that you're totally don't have idea and you only got the meaning of the current verse. You can stop at Anvayartha and in Tatparya, you can rewrite that Anvayartha in a slightly more elaborate way and escape. Okay? Because you really don't know the context. But ideally, the expectation is that you know the context and you give some context background, and that's how the substance will come out. Okay? For example, if you take this Bhartrihari Niti Shatakam. So in the second verse only, instead of giving Niti, he starts lamenting the state of affairs of his kingdom. In the second verse, he says, all the Pandits here are full of Irshya, all the kings and the leaders here are full of Garva, and all the rest are uneducated. Who the hell will read my Subhashitam? That's all. He didn't say who the hell, but you know what I mean. So that is how he has written. So in when you literally translate, it looks a strange verse. Then you have to say here Bhartrihari is lamenting the state of affairs in the kingdom. He was such a great, capable, knowledgeable person, but nobody was in a state of mind to receive the quality of his production. His book was a little bit like a wasted effort. That's how he thought. Okay, though he laments, he will go on and write it, but you will see that first segment of Bhartrihari's Niti Shatakam is called Agnya Paddhatihi or Agnya, something like Agnya Paddhatihi, correct. Okay, so Agnya Paddhati, what he is trying to preach in this collection of 10 or 12 verses in that section of Niti Shatakam, in just 100 verses, he gives so much. In the 10 verses, he is trying to explain who is the person with no knowledge or with bad knowledge and how you should avoid him with a long pole. Okay, so the whole verset is about how to avoid such people and not try to put Subhashitam in their head. So in that context, his second verse fits because he is lamenting his court is also full of Agnyas. Okay, so like that, I will bring the substance there. Okay, I've gone a little far afield. Let me continue. Padavibhagaha. To understand the meaning of each word in Sanskrit, be it a noun or a verb, it is absolutely necessary to have the knowledge of the case ending. We agree, right? Or the so noun, for noun it is vibhakti, for verb it will be, of course, conjugation ending. Okay, case ending, number, vachanam, person, purushaha for verbs. Yeah, there is no purusha for nouns. For nouns there is linga of that word. But in Sanskrit poetry, prose also, there occur certain changes due to sandhi. Okay, so therefore, where there are sandhis, the words have to be split up as Dilipasya is equal to Dilipasya kama acharya. Kshamyatam. If there are no sandhi words, written, double R, some mistake, uttered separately as they are kati dinani tishtati, then you just list it kati kama dinani kama tishtati. That's it. You don't. You have to still put the words which are already in the broken up form. This is known as padavibhaga. Remember that padavibhaga is necessary in prose also. Okay. Now you see Samskrita Bharati's style of explaining in English. Some words which you want to use the original Sanskrit, right? So they just use original Sanskrit and don't try to spell that in English. Except here and there sandhi they have put in English. But you see this vibhakti, dilipasya, because you need the original Sanskrit to explain, right? So this is how you should give, if you're giving English explanation. Don't be afraid to throw in the Sanskrit words where they are needed, because either they are not translatable or it's what your case in point requires them to be in Sanskrit. That's all. Because trying to spell that in alphabet is a disaster. Neither you will know what to type, nor the reader will understand what you have typed. The constant struggle with, because there is no map. The 26 letters are too less. Somehow today, in order to type Sanskritam, we have come up with a schema saying if you use lowercase s and a, I will write sa on the screen. If you use lowercase followed by capital H, then I will do something else like this. They have come with some combination of uppercase, lowercase, and some special characters that we have to type to come up with all the possible combinations of Sanskrit letters or Indian Devanagari or any other script letters for that matter. Okay, let's call it transliteration. That's some smart people have done some good work to construct the letter sets of alphabets to use to do the typing in Sanskritam. Because Sanskritam keyboard will look strange on the physical keyboard that we have. But there are some mobile apps where there is actually Sanskritam letters on a small keyboard, and they use smart techniques. There will be all the Vyanjanas. You have to type the Vyanjana. Then on the left side you will get the Swarayukta Vyanjana forms. You type that one of them, then that will appear. Like this, some multiple ways of constructing they have come up with. Remember that Padavibhaga is also essential in prose, because even prose sometimes have a little bit this and that order and you have to reorganize. Definitely Sandhi breaks have to be done anyway. Anvayaha. When the words are split up, we clearly know the case, the number, the person of each word. Then these words are arranged in prose order. This is known as Anvaya. Sometimes in order to arrive at the Anvaya, there is a process between number 1 and number 2 that they will teach you in the next levels perhaps, where you have to do collection of words in the similar vibhakti, identify Visheshana Visheshya pairs, identify the Samasapadas so that you collate them and then identify the clausal participles. Okay, and so which word is belong to which participle? Does this word belong, this noun belong to the primary kriya pada, or is it belonging to the clausal participle verb, etc. Like that you have to make decisions. That they will also teach you, but right now they're keeping it simple. They are going to the final meaning here, Anvaya. So when the words are split up, we clearly know the case, number and person of each word. Then these words are arranged in prose order. This is known as Anvaya. Now the stanza takes a sentence form. Pratipadartha, after construing, I don't know, constructing is better, I think. After constructing the words, the meaning of each word should be given. This is the Anvaya Artha, word to word meaning. At this stage, you can give it in English. Okay, guys? You can put equal to and put the English or Kannada if you're in Kannada medium, etc. Okay, but later on, you have to do this using Sarala Samskrita. Okay, that over time they will teach you. At this stage, you know the meaning of each word in a given verse. So that's much you would have known by doing this much. Then Tatparya. After the Anvaya Artha, the substance of the verse becomes known. The Tatparyam consists of giving the total purport. Purport means the purpose and the meaning of a verse. Keeping these elements in mind, let us try to understand the meaning of shlokas. Selected verses from Moola Ramayana of Valmiki are given below. In some places, descriptive verses are skipped, and in some, only one half of the original shloka is taken to achieve continuity in narration. Means they have not taken the complete Moola in order. Here and there, they have picked from the first chapter, more or less. Okay? Before commencing the lesson, let us read the benedictory verse. Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. This is actually, we don't know the origin of this verse. This verse is sung by the Kavis after, who came after Valmiki, appreciating what Valmiki stood for them. Okay. Kujantam Rama iti Madhuram Madhura Aksharam is a samasta. Aruhya Kavita Shakham. This is also a samasta. Vande Aham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. So I offer my namana to Valmiki, the Kokila called Valmiki, to the Kaku who is Valmiki, because he did this kakuing of Rama, the very sweet words. Okay, and he did that by climbing the branch of Kavita Vriksha. Beautifully, Kavita Shaka means he climbed the tree of Kavitva and stood on a primary shaka of that, and from there he cooed Rama, sweet way. I offer my namana to such a Kaku bird who is Valmiki. That means very soft, beautiful verses he produced. Okay, so Valmiki is the Kaku perched on the branch of poetry. In the Kaku is melodiously cooing the name Rama. Ramanama itself is very sweet. I bow to that Kaku in the form of Valmiki. So wonderful verse. Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam. Though the second sentence looks longer in print, believe me, this has the same number of letters as the first one. Okay? 16, 16. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. This is called Shloka meter or Anushtup meter, and Valmiki's Ramayana is in this meter. He's attributed with writing the first verse, so he's attributed with this Laukika meter. There are Vedic meters also. Gayatri, for example, is a Vedic meter. Okay, so let us now jump into the first verse. I am probably going a little more detail than I should given the time limit, but bear with me. Maybe the Agasa Batten Yetti Yetti Ogada Hosa Batten, like that, new cloth, so I am banging it hard upon you guys. Okay. Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabhavo Ramo Nama Janai Shrutah Niyatatma Mahaviryo Dyutiman Dhrutiman Vashi. Okay, so this is a verse from the very early part of Ramayana. This is actually this is in the samvada between Valmiki and Narada. The story, of course, Valmiki has written it all, but it begins with the samvada of Valmiki and Narada. So the pratiti goes that Valmiki was not such a knowledgeable. He's even identified as a kinkara or something like that in his early phase of life. Then due to the grace, he gets Panditya and he does a huge. His name Valmiki title comes from the fact that he when he did the tapas, he was so austere that a termite mound grew on him, and that is called Valmika. So because he was born again by breaking that open after his closure of tapasya, so he became Valmiki. So all that story is there. That's not part of Ramayana. All that story is the folklore that exists, okay, around Ramayana. So this one is actually word of Narada, from the mouth of Narada to Valmiki, quoted by, of course, Valmiki for us. So Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabhavaha Ramaha Nama Janaihi Shrutaha. So Ikshvaku Vamsha, so the lineage of Ikshvakus. Okay, Ikshvaku was one of the very early after Manu or something like that. Okay, then Prabhavaha means the kings. So the kings of Ikshvaku Vamsha, Ramaha Nama of the Prabhu, Prabhavaha is in Shashti here, of the Prabhu of Ikshvaku Vamsha by the name Rama, Ramaha Nama, Janaihi Shrutaha is well known by people. That's what Narada is telling Valmiki, and we also agree. Niyatatma Mahaviryaha Dyutiman Dhrutiman Vashi Ramaha. So all this become qualifier to Ramaha. Okay, the kriya here is Janaihi Shrutaha. Kim Shrutaha? Nama Shrutaha. Kasya Nama? Ramasya Nama, but Rama iti Nama. So we have to add iti there. Rama iti Nama Janaihi Shrutaha. Kasya Nama Prabhavaha. Kasya Prabhavaha? Ikshvaku Vamshasya Prabhavaha Athava Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabhavaha. This is the whole reversal that happens now. And the qualities of Rama is explained here. Niyatatma Ramaha, Mahaviryaha Ramaha, Dyutiman Ramaha, Dhrutiman Ramaha, Vashi Ramaha. Some of them are very easy to interpret. Vashi, one who is in charge of his indriyas. Vasha, in Sanskritam, simple Vasha means in control of your senses, not some other thing. Okay, so Vashi means one who is in control of his senses. That means he is in control of his indriyas. Willy-nilly, he won't go about doing nonsense. So Vashi. Then Niyatatma. So one who has the niyata, okay, let us take the meaning from here, has his mind restrained. Okay, similar to Vashi only. See, Vashi is about Indriya, so Atma has been taken for the mind here. Okay, so one who has niyata means controlled mind. That sense they have been taken. Mahaviryaha, one who is a great valor-filled fellow. Virya, prowess. Yeah. Then Dyutiman, one who was radiant. Dyu is sky and light, that sense. Dyutiman, one with that. Okay. Then Dhritiman. Dhriti means fortitude of mind or something like that. Courage. Yeah. Who was courageous. Okay. So one who was in control of his mind, one who was very valorous, one who was bright, one who was courageous, and one who was in control of his senses. Wow, beautiful. Datyarama is known by the people. So actually, before this, Valmiki would have asked, Narada, I want to know if such a person exists on this earth or existed on this earth who is having such and such quality, please tell me, hey Narada, like that. And then Narada will tell, yes, there is Rama, such a such person, and all that. And eventually, like, so in a way, what we understand from the context is that the history of Rama has been conveyed in a Sankshepa way by Narada to Valmiki. And that portion is called Sankshepa Ramayana. So the first very beginning of Ramayana starts with 100 verses, which is the Sankshepa Ramayana, where Sankshepa is told by Narada to Valmiki as a Q&A session. It's brilliant. The engineering of how the Ramayana flows is brilliant. And later on, other Kavis have also imagined it beautifully. So why it is such a vibrant Kriti is, one is the Sanskrit scholarship used by Valmiki is brilliant, and number two, the storyline construction is brilliant, and the kind of bhavas that it evokes in us, that is also brilliant. That's why it has had a long life and whole lineage. So it's become so important to our Sanatana Dharma. So next they go about explaining all this very. Now it has become methodical. We have almost understood it. So let's go through this. Padavibhagaha. So we cannot break up samastas at this stage. So we keep them as is. Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabhavaha. But like I told you, Ikshvaku iti Vamshaha, Ikshvaku Vamshasya Prabhuhu, Ikshvaku Vamshasya Prabhuhu, Tasya Prabhavaha. Like that is the Vigraha Karana. So as you move towards Parichaya, Shiksha and Kovida, you will develop this skill, okay, to instantly break it up like that, without needing any dictionary help and all that. Maybe one or two mistakes will be there, but at least you know what to say there. Then Ramaha, Kama, see Vaha, see all these are Uttva of Visarga, we call it Uttva Sandhi of Visarga. So Vaha, Maha, this. Then Nama is Nama only. Many people make the mistake, this is a Naman Shabda and Pratama Eka Vibhakti form is Nama. Okay, it's a Napumsaka Shabda as far as I recall. Okay, Nama, Namani, Namani, something like that will come. Okay, so don't make Namaha, Namaha. The most colossal error that happens from south is Namaha, Namaha. It's just Nama. Okay, Janaihi Shrutaha, by the people. So Janaihi, Kama, Shrutaha, Kama, Niyatatma, Kama, Mahaviryaha. So again, Uttva, Mahaviryo, Dyutiman, okay, and then Dhrutiman. Okay, same as is Vashi. So only few Visarga Sandhis we had to reverse. Prabhavaha, Ramaha, then Mahaviryaha. That's such. Everything else was original. Prabhavaha also, yeah. So everything else was as is. But you have to list everything. Next, Anvaya, Niyatatma, Mahaviryaha. See, now what they have done? They have stacked all the qualities of Rama before the name Rama. That's what they did. Niyatatma, Mahaviryaha, Dyutiman, Dhrutiman, Vashi, Ikshvakuvampra Prabhavaha, Ramaha, Nama. Okay. Oh, sorry. Prabhavaha I explained wrongly. Yes, so now I understood when I saw the Anvaya. Prabhavaha is not Shashti of Prabhu. It is, that would have been Prabhoho. Okay, so Prabhavaha is one who is born. Bhavaha, born. Prabhavaha, born into the Ikshvaku Vamsha. So it is simply Visheshana to Rama in Pratama Ekavachana, Pratama Vibhakti Ekavachana. So the one born to Ikshvaku Vamsha, the Rama, his name by the people is heard. Okay, so that's erase that Shashti Vibhakti quote of mine. So it is one who is born into. Okay, so the verb asit is not found in the shloka, but this has been supplied. Actually, asit is not correct. if you put the words in the mouth of Narada, I would put asti, because Narada is actively telling Valmiki. So it is in the present tense as far as this conversation is concerned. That also should be remembered by us. So we should say asti. So I'm losing people fast to, I think, the match that is starting or started. Don't worry about the match. We will lose. That is Bengaluru. So, Ramah nama janaihi shrutah asti is better one, in my opinion. Okay? Adhyaharana. Adhyahara. You have to do the adhyahara in the context, not from today's time. You have to do it in the context of the verse. Since context is not given, maybe asit will fit fine. Pratipadartha Ramah nama. See here, I like this a little bit phrase wise they have gone, but still they have favored English, because I'll read the English sentence. You see, one by name Rama had his mind restrained, who had the prowess, who was radiant, who was courageous, who had controlled his senses, and who was also born in the dynasty of Ikshvaku, was well known amongst the people. Nobody will put Janaihi in the end of a Sanskrit Vakya. They will put Shrutaha, right? Straight away, this is, it is favoring English order, but that's fine. This, like I told, is not intuitive. You'll have to come up with the English sentence, then you have to reverse fit or retrofit the Sanskrit words to go with the English phrases. You could do that, but it's, for me, it's like a wasteful exercise, because we are not trying to help English. So I would rather eventually go with Sanskrit order and put the Butler English here. Okay, so for example, I would go here, Anvaya. So Niyatatma, the one who was controlling his mind, the one who has control of his mind, the one who was valorous, the one who was bright, the one who was courageous, one who controlled his senses, one who was the progeny of the Ikshvaku lineage. Rama, that Rama, you just put that Rama, then all that connects there. By name, by the people, was well known. That much you can write in English and everybody will understand in India. So we don't need to worry about king and queen stuff, right? So that's how I would go. Okay. In the past, there was one Rama of the dynasty of Ikshvaku. He was renowned among the people. He had extraordinary prowess, was ready. So what they did is they broke it up into a few sentences and nicely colored it up to, nothing new is there here that was not there earlier, but nice. Technically, if I knew the context, I gave you the context. See, Narada is telling Valmiki little bit, not the whole story of Valmiki. Like I am, because my family name is Valmiki, I'll go on and on. But that don't do that. Just yeah. In this verse, the adjective Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabhavaha speaks of the illustrious family of Rama. Rama's restraint. This is the correct Tatparya. See, now the context is coming. Rama's restraint became evident when he left for the forest following the command of his father. While leaving, he showed remarkable self-control by neither blaming Kaikeyi nor Dasharatha for his own plight. So they are now bringing out why these qualities are attributed to Rama, because the whole storyline itself that follows will actually demonstrate that. So they are bringing forward from things that they know ahead, which will come ahead later. Okay, his prowess came to light in the way he slew Vali, Ravana, and many other Rakshasas. Vali was not a Rakshasa. Okay, fine. As the very name suggests, his charming personality was indeed known to everyone. See, English usage. So this and many more Rakshasas, will you assume Vali was a Rakshasa? I mean, that kind of generality can be made in English. What they mean is Vali, Ravana, and other Rakshasas. That's what they mean. Okay, maybe the comma breaks it up. As the very name suggests, his charming personality was indeed known to everyone. Janaihi Shrutaha. Here the poet uses each adjective with a lot of significance. Beautiful. So this is not so much. This is the kind of things that will help to increase the quality of the answer. Okay? We have this wonderful Pattabhisheka scene to entertain us. So with that, we will conclude today. I have overshot the time.
Mahodaya, one doubt. Vashi, is it Pullinga Shabda, Mahodaya?
Yeah, it's a Pullinga Ekavachana. Vamshi, Vashi, these are all Ikaranta Pullinga Shabdas.
Okay. Suppose if it is for Strilinga, how it will change for Vashi?
It may look the same, Vashi, but it will decline differently in other Vibhaktis. Okay?
Oh, okay. Like Gauri Shabda only.
It may decline like that, but it may have some variation later. Yeah. See, for example, Vashi in Pullinga may decline differently than Vashi in Strilinga. Okay. Yeah. We'll have to check up that. I don't have instant knowledge to help you with all the Vibhakti forms, but in summary, what I have told gives you a direction for you to look for. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, what's the difference between Padavibhagaha and Anvayaha? They both
Huge
seem-
difference. Padavibhaga maintains the order of the verse. See, Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabha Rama Nama, same order is there. But in Anvaya, these kamas are not Padavibhaga. They are actually stack of qualities of Rama with kamas. Kama is not needed. Okay. Nitatma Mahavirya Dyutiman Drutiman Vashi Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabha Rama Kama or Rama iti we can add in bracket. Okay. Actually, I would add iti nama. Janaihi shrutaha asit or asti is better actually, like I told. Okay. Understood? Any other question?
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. So let's call it a day. I was hoping today I will conclude the first lesson, but I still have 9th and 10th section and some questions to go through. But that's okay. So we will catch up next Saturday, conclude the first lesson and jump into the second lesson, God permitting. Or time permitting. God is time. Thank you, guys. Have a nice weekend. Whatever balance.
Thank you, sir.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಮಹೋದಯ.
Namah sarvebhyah. Namo namah. Punah milama. Why these jumps? I don't know. Okay. Never understood.